Howdy folks, and welcome to another episode of Stanley and the Sea Can. Alright, today I thought we'd try something a little bit different, and we would go into the gun bans in Canada. We're still getting phone calls of people trying to buy parts or pieces or complete firearms even that were affected by the various orders and councils that our friends in Ottawa have put through over the last couple of years. So I thought, let's just make a down-to-earth video that's not 30 minutes long of ranting and raving, and just say, look, here's the new rules, and that's just how it is, right? Because, well, that's who we elected, right? So the first order in council was May of 2020. And so what they did is they took away our AR-15s. So here's an AR-15 and all the high energy stuff, which was over 10,000 joules of energy, muzzle energy. So basically what they seemed to be targeting was 50 BMG, AR-15s, and anything that's bigger that you may have had laying around, like, oh, I don't know, 20 millimeter or so, or even bigger. There's some, they used to have non-restricted like 37 millimeter, 40 millimeter little anti-tank guns and stuff that were kind of cool, and little carriage wheels and stuff. But so all that's gone now. It was non-restricted, now it's prohibited just because of the energy, because I guess you can do some damage with that, they're thinking. The other interesting part of this is they also made the AR-15 upper. So as you know, the AR-15 can come apart by pushing the pivot pin here and the takedown pin there. And so this is just a stripped upper that would go with it, right? That clips in. So they made these things prohibited as well. And the challenge with this is these were never serialized, but these, of course, are all serialized. So I'd like to think that I'm one of the cool guys who made my name on the list for each of the gun bans. So this particular gun ban, the May 2020, we got the TNA 15 was on the list. So there's one of them right there in the flesh. It seemed like that was kind of the be-all, end-all, what they wanted to do. And then the biggest huff and kapuff was they said you're still allowed to have 50 caliber guns. You can't have anything bigger than 20 millimeters. So this is a 12 gauge shotgun choke. And so if you were to bore out a barrel of a 12 gauge shotgun to have one of these interchangeable chokes, whether it's extended or just a flush mount, you know, cuts off here or whatnot, it's all irrelevant, but this diameter here could be 20 millimeters or bigger. So that basically means that shotguns, 12 gauge shotguns with a choke could be prohibited, but that has been resolved since then. They said that's not what it was about. It was about these big bad boys right here. You don't want to have something like that laying around, even if you downloaded it so it was only shooting at, you know, whatever, 2,000 feet per second or something. Still bad. So in essence, that's what they took away from us in the very first order in council, was the AR-15 platform, and there was 1,500 some odd guns on that list. They took away, most of them were just different variants. Like I have one, the next guy has one, Colt has 15 different variants, you know, Fax and several different manufacturers in the States all had slightly different variants. So there's the AR-15 style, which was this, uses Stanag, typically 5.56 type calibers. There was a AR-10 size, which was taken away, which had the 308 size guns. And then they had, there's even bigger ones yet that were like doing 30-06, 300 Win Mag and stuff. And again, those were all on the list. Then of course you capture all these big high energy guns, like all of your Barretts, your bolt action 50s were all taken away. Collateral damage to that order in council was some of the big bore elephant guns and things like that. Like really, really expensive guns that would be like, you know, like your 700 Nitro Express and stuff like that were all taken away. Partially because of the energy and partially because of the bore diameter being so big. So that's what they were after. It seemed that the intent was just to go after these military style, assault style weapons, even though there's no definition of what an assault weapon is. And yeah, there's also no definition of a variant. So we just kind of roll with the punches, what they're saying. So as of, I guess, May the 2nd, 2020, this bad, this bad, this bad, 12 gauge shotguns, good. And AR-15 uppers, bad. Doesn't matter if it's built, not built, whatever. And that's about it.